yishalel chacham b'chachmaso. A person shouldn't praise himself for his wisdom. A strong person shouldn't praise himself for his strength. A wealthy person shouldn't praise himself for being wealthy. Ki im bizos yishalel. This is how one should feel really good about themselves. When hamizhalel haschel v'yadoa osi, someone who really contemplates and knows me, Hashem is saying. And what does he know about me? Ki ani Hashem oseh chesed, that I am Hashem who does kindness, mishpat, justice, tzedakah, righteousness, ba'aretz, in the land, ki be'eleh chafatzti. That's what I want for you. I want you to feel good about yourself when you understand my greatness, my chesed, my righteousness, my fairness. What Hashem really wants to be understood and praised for is us seeing his chesed. But it's more than that. The Radak explains in the Pasuk in Yirmiyahu Perek Tes, he explains that Radak says, contemplating and knowing who Hashem means, and knowing Hashem's chesed, means emulating and imitating Hashem's chesed. Exactly. Exactly. And if we're not doing what we're praising Hashem for, then we're missing something. So Amar Eisan Hazrachi. Eisan Hazrachi says, Ani eskalti, I got it. I understand. Amar La Kadosh Baruch Hu, and Hashem says, Hiskalta, yes, you do understand. Ki be'eleh chafatzti. You realize that everything is about Hashem's chesed by saying it and by doing it, which is why Chazal tell us that Eisan HaEzrachi was Avraham. Who was the pillar of chesed that we have? Avraham. But by Avraham doing chesed, this Medrash is saying, he understood that Hashem is chesed, and therefore Avraham became an ish chesed. He continues Hashem in this Medrash, Kol mi shemekalseini lo yikalseini ela be'ele. Whoever wants to praise me should praise me with these. Meaning he should be like me, acknowledging Hashem's chesed and imitating it or emulating it. V'chein hu omer, and so it says in Sefer Hosea, ki chesed chafatzi, because Hashem is saying, I want kindness, v'lo zevach, not a korban. I want kindness from you. If you appreciate my chesed and you do chesed, that's what I want. Omar lo David, and David responds, Chesed chafatzta, you want chesed, b'chesed ani mekalescha. I'm going to praise you with chesed by saying Chasdei Hashem la'olam ashira and doing chasadim all the time. How does it work that by praising Hashem for his chesed, you do chesed? Because it becomes almost intuitive. Let me explain to you how this works. We have a natural instinct, all of us, that when you find yourself the recipient of chesed, and I don't mean chesed that you feel like a Nebuch case, poor me, I have to have people help me out, but just people being kind to you, warm to you, friendly to you, helpful to you, just doing you favors out of nowhere. What happens is when you are that recipient, automatically it like opens this sinor, this pipe inside of you, of the chesed pipe. And you start doing chesed too. Not necessarily to the one who did the chesed to you, but you start doing chesed to the next person. For instance, here's the best example of a very light example, but it's really practical. You go to the bank or you go to some government office, and you sit down with the lady and you're ready. Oh my goodness, I'm nervous. I don't know how to say this right. What am I going to have to sign? Am I going to understand? I'm getting a little personal here. And then the person sits with you and is just so helpful, step by step by step. And that happens a lot. We're always afraid, but it happens a lot. You walk out of the bank, you walk out of that office, and you just smile at the shomer, at the guard at the door, and you're ready to help somebody else. And where does that come from? They didn't do anything for you that you have to be so friendly back to them. But it's this chesed pipe inside of you that was opened up by someone giving you chesed. Unfortunately, it works the other way also. Someone's not nice to you on the street, and then without any reason at all, someone may go home and not be nice to their neighbor or not be nice to someone else or their housekeeper or their kids or whatever it could be because someone closed up your chesed pipe. But let's not talk about the negative. Let's talk about the positive. If one realizes and one really sees that we are constant recipients of Hashem's chesed, that Hashem is constantly just showering us with good and more caring and more love for no reason at all, but just because he loves us and he's giving and giving and giving. Naturally, when you acknowledge that, your chesed pipe is open and you give chesed to others. So once you really feel that you're a recipient of chesed, you automatically are kinder to others. It's automatic. So what we have to do is realize of this chasdei Hashem. We have to realize how much good Hashem gives us, and then automatically, that's why if we praise Hashem, that's why if we understand Hashem, we'll be like Him, especially when it comes to chesed. Because if we understand Hashem's chesed, automatically we'll exude chesed to others. The Medrash Shochar Tov, not this one, the next one, explains that that was what the world was created for. So Hashem could do chesed to us. And then, when we realize Hashem is giving us chesed, what then we are automatically going to do? We are going to do chesed for others. And then naturally continue the chesed that Hashem gives us.